And just in case you guys were wondering, that is how Korea gets its internet.
That was the ion cannon, I think, from Command & Conquer, man.
Oh, was it?
No,
This is a StarCraft tournament. What's going on?
I love the ion cannon in Command & Conquer. You ever play the original one?
You know what I loved in Command & Conquer was when the cyborg had like just his upper body like crawl towards you.
Which Command & Conquer was that?
I think it was Red Alert, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong.
And that might have been Tiberium's Sun.
Yeah, Tiberium.
Tiberium's Sun.
That's right.
The first one was the best one.
I don't remember the names of all of them, actually, to be honest.
The first one, I think, is the best one.
It was so long ago, you know.
Good units. The Flame Tank was my favorite unit. Do you care?
We're starting out this Code S season
with
a bang, talking about a different
GSL.
RTS game altogether.
Here in Seoul, Korea, I'm Tasis. With me is Artosis, and we are here to host the biggest, best StarCraft 2 tournament on Earth. It's going to be pretty exciting. The last Code S was a lot of fun, but I'm very excited to be here doing this one now, turning a new leaf.
Yeah. Best StarCraft tournament on Earth.
Best show on Earth. I don't know why.
Slightly less good than the StarCraft tournament the birds have in the sky.
Yeah, man.
Theirs is pretty good. We are better than the shark tournament in the ocean, though.
Oh, we're much better than that.
Yeah. The sharks can only make marauders.
They
actually have 21 of 32
players. They can't micro with those little
and
shark fins.
Code S for shark, man.
What was it you were saying before that the Tyrannosaurus Rex's arms would only be good for knitting a sweater? Like that's the only thing they can do. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's not going to dunk a basketball. What are you talking about,
man?
Yeah. It's just like knitting like
a scarf. It can't do arm wrestling with that little thing.
Makes the sickest scarf, but then when it's done the scarf, to get it on, it has to like go like this. Like it has to get it swaying and then throw it over its shoulder.
That is too funny. So our first game today is going to be MVP against Ensnare.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be pretty wicked. MVP, though, is so deadly.
It's going to be wicked for one of these players.
I know. Ensnare is a very good player. He's one of the best players from the beta of StarCraft 2. But, somebody like MVP, right now he's tied with an ST for, GSL championships, and that really says something.
Yeah, he has a lot of tournament wins, Tasteless, and his TVT by far the best in the world. If Ensnare can make this look like a good game, then he's improved immensely.
The problem with MVP is that he's got so many different build orders that it's very difficult to prepare against him, and he also knows what order to administer those build orders depending on how the game is turning out. So it's he's definitely somebody you can learn a lot from. Ensnare, he's very good. I'd say he's very middle of the road. Would you agree with this statement as far as the strategies, which is fine?
Yeah.
It's just a description of him, I guess. But,
that's what it is.
I guess that's what
adjectives,
that is.
Man. Who knows?
We haven't casted together in how long now?
It's been a while.
This feels weird. I am so used to casting GOM all the time that to take a week off, actually, it feels really weird.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back, though, in the studio.
I know. I missed
my
it.
second home.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to be back here. By the way, feel free to come down to our studio here in Seoul, Korea. Entry is free. It is also free for the finals. So, do that because this is definitely, if you come out to Seoul, esports is where it's at. I mean, this is, esports is a big tourism.
Well, no matter where you go, esports is where it's at.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you go to Antarctica to study Emperor Penguins.
Yeah, I don't care if you're like underwater, one of those little, I don't know, Atlantis, I don't know.
Atlantis. It's not real, Tasteless.
It's not real?
Yeah.
No, I know it's not real. I think there's.
He didn't know
we're going to throw up the schedule for you guys right now.
And there it is. Look at that.
Just take it all in, guys.
Mm-hmm. GSTL Finals, that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, you see a lot of Code S, a lot of Code A, some up and downs.
It should be pretty epic, man.
Yeah.
So, of course, do check out the, Code A games. Those players trying to get filtered into Code S. And just so you guys know, if you didn't already, these finals will be at BlizzCon.
That's right. I am so excited for that, Tasteless.
I cannot wait. Come down to BlizzCon. Come see what it's like to have a GSL finals in America. You know what's going to be weird about that, Artosis? Is this will be the first time when the Korean broadcasters are going to be piggybacked on us and not the other way around.
That's going to be a lot of fun because they're going to have like so much to say, and we're just going to start the game. They're like,
yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And then they're going to be like trying to introduce the players, and they're not going to know when that thing's going to come up that says the players' names. Think about that. And as you can see, here's the format for the tournament at the bottom of our screen. Artosis, are you ready?
Ready.
I'm ready. But we're piggybacked on
I've been ready
so we got to wait for them to get done talking.
Listen, I've been ready since halfway through the last season of Codes to start this one tasteless. Jeez Louise.
We got a lot of Terrans, by the way, here in this Codes
20
right
of 32.
That is a lot. That constitutes a lot. And, it's interesting. Right now it seems like if you're going to win a StarCraft 2 tournament, you just better be good at Terran versus Terran. Here in the GSL. So, if you're a Terran player, this is going to be great for you because you're going to get to see exactly how this matchup works.
Yeah, you
team.
are. And you need look no further than our first match with MVP in it. But let's take a look at these groups. Today we're going to have the Group A and Group B. I'm MVP, OGS Ensnare, Clyde, and Noble S. And then Group B is going to have Slayers Ryung, Marine King Prime, Bomber, and what is a P?
What?
P. What race is he? Perrin?
No. In fact, that's what they call a Protoss. You might have read about him in books.
Oh, my God. Well, then the next day, don't worry, plenty of Terrans there. Keen, Nada, MMA, and then ST. That's going to be fun. And then the Huck group, Huck, Virus, ASD, and Xenia.
I am especially excited about that one.
Oh, the Huck group is great, man. That is absolutely something you can get out of.
Huck is kicking so much ass.
He's an ass kicker, man.
He is an ass kicker. He's got his special ass-kicking boots with the steel toe.
When he can kick ass in all sorts of ways. He has the steel toe.
He doesn't even just kick ass, he punts ass.
He does
punts
that.
It.
But he has all sorts of, you said the steel toe boot, right?
Yep.
And then he also, sometimes he takes off his boot and his sock and puts a feather in between his toes and kicks your ass in a tickly type of way that you're like, oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes he does that. Sometimes he does a flying kick into it. He has all sorts of ways.
He's got a lot of skills, that guy. As you can see here, Group E, July, Hongan, Aganzi, and Lucira. Group F, Genius, Happy, Linok, and Sjojaki. Am I even saying that right? Jachi, excuse me. After that, Pult, Killer, Dongregu, and Tejam.
Ooh, that's a hard group.
Yeah, that is going to be very interesting. And finally, Group H, Top, Coca, Nova, and Alak.
Not just any Nova, though. Supernova. Yeah.
So, as you guys can see, it is a bit Terran heavy this season, but, that's just the way it's going right now. This does happen from time to time in RTS games where you do have, one race being slightly more dominant or at least you're seeing more success with that. And we're having that here with Golem TVT.
That's what it is, Tasteless.
That's what it is, man.
We may as well, your name starts with T, Tasteless. I guess we'll call me Tartosis.
Tartosis?
Yeah.
What did we say in the cast? If you were a girl, your name would be Artasha.
Artasha, yeah.
Sam Wisey made me from Blizzard recommending the Cameltosis. When I read that email, I actually spilled my Cheerios. It was so funny.
Milk came out of my nose, and I haven't drank milk since 1985.
Milk is actually not good for you.
I know that.
Yeah.
Well, human milk's really good for you.
Yeah, human milk.
That's right.
I only try to limit my human milk to, a little bit a day, but generally...
As long as you keep drinking human milk, Tasteless, it keeps getting made.
I think it tastes good with whiskey.
Yeah. All right, so here is I'm MVP, 3-time champion, first in the ranks, just won the last Codes, unfathomably good against Terran. Try to fathom it. I dare you.
I can't.
You can't do it.
I'm trying to fathom it, and I can't do it. This guy is so sick. If you are new to StarCraft 2, and, I don't want you guys to feel left out not knowing a lot of the lore behind these guys, but this is easily one of the scariest players on the planet. Right now he's tied with an ST, so, he really wants to win this GSL and make it undisputed that he's the greatest player there is.
Yeah. He's so good, man. He's like Magneto and Professor X rolled into one. He's like Predator and Alien.
You can't be Magneto and Professor Xavier because they're opposites. If you put them together, it'd just be like this guy who's kind of like in the middle. He's like not actually evil. He's not actually good.
It'd be like that really gross mutant from Total Recall.
It'd be a guy.
It's like Magneto opens his shirt and the Professor Xavier head comes out. He's like,
You know what it'd actually be is he'd be a guy in a wheelchair that can control metal.
That's pretty sick, man. Get your wheelchair going so quick.
Be pretty excellent. Mm-hmm. Now, here's Ensnare. He's kind of got this pose. He's like, what are you going to do?
He's like, I'm against MVP.
I'm against MVP. What am I going to do,
Yep.
Hey, I'm OGS Ensnare. What do you know? So, this guy.
Maybe he wants a hug.
He might need a hug.
He looks a little bit sad in that picture.
Actually, in that picture, he looked like his girlfriend was walking away from him, like really mad. He's like,
"Ah."
baby, come back. I love you.
It's like, "Ah,
There he is
she's back."
now. And he wants this so badly. He wants to win. If you take out MVP, who's basically a badass killer, and you go from him winning GSL championship to him losing here, that would be pretty huge. This is actually the scariest part of Codes. When it starts up here.
Yeah, I would say so. This is pretty much as scary as it gets. You're going to play a best of one against MVP, but that's going to help. Now notice that we have a very nifty new.
We have a pillar.
Yeah, it's made out of
why
camera lenses.
They put that pillar there because otherwise the set would just fall down.
Yeah.
Those players would get crushed with
kind of looks 3D,
building falling down. It does. I feel like it's coming out right at me.
Yep.
So as you can see, MVP eliminating Belshire Beach, and we have Ensnare eliminating Daybreak, so our map will be dual site.
I bet you could take a picture of the moon's craters with that so easily. Look how long that lens is in the middle.
Yeah, no kidding.
You could totally peep in someone's window down the street
You
with
could
that
totally
thing.
peep somebody's window in Busan right now from up here at Seoul. All right, it's time. The countdown has started. MVP against OGS Ensnare. Terran versus Terran here at GOM TVT. And Tasteless with me is Artosis. We're the Casting Archon, and this is the GSL. And great commentators had a lot to say. I thought I was going to time that out perfectly. I didn't. I'm rusty.
Yeah.
I'm a rusty caster. But by the end of this cast today, Artosis, we're going to be back. We're going to be ready.
We're going to remove that rust with some...
What do you remove rust with, actually? I actually don't know.
Well, who are we sponsored by?
There's no time, Artosis. Over here in the upper right. That's actually the best possible answer. You're right. We have three-time GSL champion, the Game Genie Terran.
I am MVP.
All right.
Wow.
Getting the walkie-talkie out here.
That's right. Routed that call through the satellite. That's why it's a little bit fuzzy.
That's how you got to do it, man. We're in outer space. In the bottom left starting location, one of the best Terran players in the beta.
Ensnare.
I like that voice.
But, if you're going to stop talking on the walkie-talkie, you should say over.
Yeah, you got to say over.
If you're not
Otherwise, the
gonna say
guy's going to
over-
be waiting.
Yeah, he's going to be like, well, what else am I losing you here? What's going on? So,
That's
right.
good walkie-talkie etiquette.
Indeed it is. Well, we have Ensnare actually going for a gas first build, Tasteless. Look at that. His barracks just being started now. Looks like he wants a lot of gas. What do you know?
What do you know?
Yeah. Going to be
The other
a quick
Terran-
command center for MVP.
Not getting his gas over here, MVP. He's doing a Beano build.
Gases. Oh, my.
Now, important to note is that MVP is scouting right away up here. So he is going to see an MVP. Obviously, he's one of these players. He knows exactly how much gas you're supposed to have. And he's going to know that this is a gas first build.
Yes, of course. That's something you...
And actually, just so you guys know, that voice that we heard earlier is actually the street... excuse me, the... what is it, Jay? I'm sorry, Jay. It's the Terran voice of the Korean StarCraft. I did not know that.
So I guess we have a professional voice actor doing it now.
Sick. Thank
But
you, Jay.
Who will you fall in love with this season, Tasteless?
I don't know, man.
Maybe just him.
I don't swing that way. But you never know. He could start to grow on me.
Yeah.
You know,
What matters is the person, Tasteless.
it's what's on the inside.
Yeah, not what's on
As
the
long
out.
as they're hot. Now, the SCV is going to continue to kind of ping pong around inside the base. He wants to keep this live for as long as possible.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a nice little Banshee build by Ensnare. No sinking gas, so it looks like it's going to be a gasless, or rather a cloakless Banshee. Can't really be a gasless Banshee, can it, Tasteless?
No, it can't.
MVP this game, choosing to go for multiple barracks. So he said, you know what? Forget Mac. Forget that thing I used to win GSLs with. I'm going to just
done
make
with that.
Marines and Marauders.
He's being a hipster nerd. It's over.
Mech is never.
It's over, man.
Well, Command Center going up for Ensnare. Tasteless, what did you do on your little vacation?
I actually, I've been remapping my hotkeys, StarCraft 2.
Yeah, don't tell everyone about that yet. We're going to make an awesome video
dude,
about
I can't
it.
wait.
Show the world.
That's actually a change nerds' lives. They're like going to see the code in the Matrix, to be tears coming down. But I've been working on that, and I think I finally got it down to the point where, I'm no longer like twitching in my chair, trying to just not hit the wrong buttons because I've changed.
When
everything.
I changed too many hotkeys at once, I got a lisp and started drooling.
You like develop a speech impediment?
You know what I did, Tasteless?
What'd you do?
I went to Jeju Island.
See, I actually knew that, but I was playing dumb.
Thanks.
So you could set that up.
It was a lot of fun.
I have not been to Jeju Island yet.
Oh man, it's a good thing to do. Totally worthwhile.
I remember that I was in my room playing StarCraft. To get Dan a call. Dan's like, "I'm drinking a beer in a pool in a nice hotel."
It's very nice.
Unfortunately, I think that for Ensnare, this the Banshee is not going to be that effective because when you do you get a bunch of barracks like this, you obviously just have enough Marines.
Yeah.
Then the only thing he's going to really kill, if he kills even anything, is just Marines.
And that's nice. As long as he keeps it alive and just continually harasses with it, it can be pretty worthwhile. He's only invested the money in a Banshee. Other than that, he's teching up, he's getting the blue plane, and he didn't really invest in Cloak. So, just as long as he doesn't lose it, man, it's pretty good. Second factory going up for Ensnare. Looks like he wants to go for mech here. See how well he can go ahead and execute that.
Can you actually hit this? I was going to say, oh my god, well, I was actually going to ask if you could actually shoot that depot from a distance where the Marines couldn't get it.
If he positioned a bit, but I don't know if that corner right
yeah,
there.
I was just looking at that one.
A little spot for a Marine to stand, but Banshee does have more range than a Marine, so it is possible if it's in the right location.
All right, here comes some Hellions.
You know what's funny about a Marauder, Tasteless?
What?
It has a little tiny head.
Yeah, it does, and it's.
I always thought it was like a huge head. And
no,
then, like I
zoom
looked
in,
at it real close.
He just zoomed in on his preview screen. Little poke there by Ensnare. You know what? The Marauder's head actually looks like a spaghetti strainer.
Yeah, it does.
Just throwing that out there. You can't unsee that now. As you can see, the Hellions coming here. They poke in, move back out. MVP's unit placement is pretty solid right now. I mean, he's not going to get touched.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get any blue flames in his base. What he's looking for right now is just keeping his economical advantage. But it's not all that big. He actually, in fact, only has one more SCV than Ensnare, despite the fact that he made that command center quite a bit quicker. Now Ensnare has made a Raven. See MVP not taking the gases yet at his natural. May want to take another base pretty quickly here. We will see on that. You got to keep your macro advantage up. He has map control at the moment because he has gone for a Marine Marauder, and that's just going to give him a lot of mobile units on the map that don't really need to be positioned all that well right now. Whereas Ensnare, he's going to have to play a very turtly game.
All right, as you can see, for the time being, just more and more Hellions set up here. Nobody really with a very clear lead right now. Game sort of moving along. Looks like MVP is slowly inching ahead, but that could change, within one battle.
Yeah. He's making another command center at this point, getting ready to take that third base. And as he takes that, that's going to be a very important time in the game. He's got to make sure that Ensnare doesn't do any real damage to him with harassment. And he has to kind of babysit Ensnare and make sure that, hey, Ensnare, do you get out of position for a moment? Then I stim, run in, and kill a bunch of stuff. But if Ensnare doesn't get out of position, the unit composition that he's going for is going to pay huge dividends.
All right, we have movement from both these players on the maps. A little back and forth here, trying to control the watchtowers. And I don't believe he's going to engage here. I'm actually not entirely sure what MVP's plan is, but do you know what he's doing, Artosis?
Well, there's siege on for Ensnare, so he better not. He scans, sees the tank siege up, sees double Raven, and realizes,
Hellions trying to move in here now, and it looks like they're both going to be taken out here. Very nice play there by MVP. You can't really blame Ensnare for trying to run in there with those Hellions and do that. But
yeah, I mean, you catch them one time, Tasteless, and all the Hellions you've lost have been worth it.
Yeah.
They're a pretty cheap unit to do something like that with. So Ensnare, I like how Ensnare's playing right now, I have to admit. He's doing a good job. He's making his third command center right now. He's staying in his base. He's not getting too cray-cray. He's not moving out in the map with all his mech units and saying, hey, for some reason I think that I should be able to be mobile with these slow units that have to be in perfect position all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes Snares do that, man, so.
Crazy. Now, I want to point this out because this is beautiful. Him sending the Marines to the gold bases. We don't see pro gamers doing that enough.
Yeah.
There are way too many games we've seen where somebody takes a gold base and it goes undetected for sometimes even 5 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want that basis. But everyone's getting to the point right now, and oh my god, he walks quite far out so far. Looks like he does want to do a little timing push here. And with the double Raven, he may have the opportunity to do that. The Blue Flame Hellions take care of the Marines. The point defense drones stop Marauders from hurting things until all the Marines are dead. And then everything kind of gets cleaned up by mech. So that looks like what he's trying to go for here.
Actually, Ensnare's little push is pretty scary. He's got a guaranteed set up siege him at least 2 or 3 times for the Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite nice, but MVP is doing exactly what he should. He's walking around the army. If you look at the mini-map, just bypassing it completely, knowing that Ensnare is so out of position, you really can't stop him from doing so. So
looks like he's going to move into the back of the base for a possible counterattack. We do have an engagement, by the way, at the top. We need to get a shot of him. There it is now. That's actually a scary number of Hellions and siege tanks.
Yeah, he's doing a
SCV's
great
running.
job.
They aren't a line that could be burnt down here.
The tanks siege up, and he does force him back. So really nice job by Ensnare so far.
And you know what he can do now? He's close enough that he can just leapfrog using point defense drone and get closer to the command center to hit it.
Yeah. Well, this is getting pretty scary actually for both players. At this point, Ensnare has lost some units. He's right near MVP's main army. He's gotten himself into a cool position, but there's going to be a huge flank coming, Tasteless, and that huge flank is going to crush this mech army like it weren't no thing.
Girl!
And here we
go. Engagement here.
Stimming right up and then running away. A point defense drone does go out, but look, I mean, he doesn't have much left with this army anymore. It's like 6 siege tanks and 3 Blue Flame Hellions.
Here's the problem if you move out too early with mech against somebody who's going Marine Marauder, is there's a high chance you will not get that army back home.
And here we go. He's attacking it right now. A nice flank by MVP. And
this will go down, but those point defense drones were pretty helpful there.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that is a pretty big loss there.
And now Ensnare is saying, hey,
again.
have some more siege tanks, but MVP actually took a few too many hits there and decides to retreat. It is the better part of Valor.
The Hellions, together with the siege tanks, it's a very scary thing when you have an infantry-based army because, everything can die so quickly. Mm-hmm. You have a few good siege tank shots and the Hellions in good positioning or your army in bad positioning. And everything just disappears. So MVP, he has to make these split decisions every time he engages.
Yeah, you really have to make the right decisions with that. Siege tanks are pretty unforgiving. Their range is kind of long,
Yeah, I would say so.
Basically, siege tanks could dunk a basketball.
They could swoosh it.
Swoosh it. You don't have to be tall for that. All right, we have a nice little counterattack here. The siege tank's sieging up, and then he does decide to run away. A ton of SCVs
he needs to
coming
turn
out.
around with the SCVs. That was a really late reaction there.
Mm-hmm. And, MVP is starting to take a pretty sizable lead, but he does need to start mining a little bit more than he is right now. Notice that he is going to take that gold, already taking his opponent's gold down there as well. Running around that little siege tank group, and Ensnare kind of all over the map right now.
Very nice play here, forcing that base to relocate. And really what he's doing is he's utilizing the one advantage that an infantry-based army like this has that mech doesn't, is the mobility.
Yeah.
Ensnare's army, hold that thought. We have an attack coming up here. Oh my god, this is getting completely obliterated.
Yep, you cannot be out in the middle of the map like this so quickly. And GG. Well, Tasteless, I tell you what, man. For a minute there, it looked like MVP may lose. In fact, it looked like Ensnare was back and goes through his hell, but nope. Chuck Testa.
Chuck Testa, man.
That's what just happened right there.
I just saw the Chuck Testa YouTube
I know. I just
video
showed you
about it.
It's like,
Well, like
hilarious
5
thing in the
minutes
world.
before we started working, I was actually dying
Yeah.
of laughter. Oh, that's so funny.
It is.
So, look, I mean, MVP was just flat out way better than his opponent.
You know, there were times where Ensnare looked pretty damn good, but
Yeah.
you can't stay out there with your Siege Shanks and Hellions. You can do little pokes, you can do little prods occasionally if you do it just right with your point defense drones, but it's hard to rally up there, especially when he's circled around with his Marines and Marauders. People just actually don't understand how to use mech correctly. I mean, you can do some of these little pushes, and he did a great job with it, but he needed to immediately reinforce and get back because you can't lose siege tanks. If you lose siege tanks, you should actually lose because
they take too long.
That's what it
Once
is.
you've lost your siege tanks, I mean, they're going to come out in pretty slow increments.
Yeah.
It's not like, when you have like 5 barracks and you're just cranking out Marines and Marauders. You can actually replenish that pretty quickly.
siege tanks become exponentially more powerful.
Exactly.
They just the more you have, the more ridiculous they are. But as soon as you start dropping down to small numbers, they're nothing.
And another factor as well is that the way he's behaving on the map, he's not actually respecting the fact that Marine Marauder is his opponent's unit composition. It wasn't like his opponent was just getting Hellions or, trying to do some stuff with Banshees. You got to really respect that and be very patient when you're trying to move up. And it looks like we have on the upper right here,
Iwal,
Owl.
Owl, Owl.
Owl. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways to say owl in a very weird way.
Well, here is the
Oh,
man,
look
the
at this
myth, the
sexy
legend, TSL Clyde.
Clyde.
One of the greatest of the greats.
Clyde, of course, the player we thought was going to win Season 1. He's a badass. I mean, he's really good, but he's just never managed to get to the finals. You know what I mean? He hasn't quite had that push.
Well, he is one of 2 original Codes players that have never been to the up and down matches. He and Nada.
Looks like he's ready to pull out his nerd 6-shooters right now.
Well,
I'm going to be like, draw, Clyde.
And you think it's a 6-shooter, but he like, takes out knives and throws them at you.
They go in my eyes. I'm like, ah!
The one goes in your gun hand and holds your hand to the wall, and you can't shoot at him.
No, it's actually he's so good that when he throws his throwing knives, that they go into like the hole where the bullet comes out of.
And it explodes.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Probably.
And then Clyde walks away not impressed.
Not impressed.
And
Oh,
as
does
he
this
walks
look like
away-
the face of a man who becomes impressed?
No! In fact, as he walks away, the building blows up, and like every other action hero, he doesn't like just look behind himself.
There's like rubble hitting the back of his head.
Yeah,
he doesn't
man.
care.
I'd be like, whoa! Did
His
that
hair's
building
probably
just
on fire.
blow up? No, he's this is normal for it.
Yeah.
Here's his opponent saying, "Thumbs down, Clyde."
He's trying to hit the button that would blow up Clyde's getaway car.
Maybe the one that makes the gas pedal can't not be depressed or whatever. It just keeps going faster, so Clyde has to like go down the highway, like going over ramps and stuff.
It's like Speed movie with Clyde.
Yeah, that'd be the
But
most
instead of
badass
not
thing ever.
Instead of not being able to slow down, Clyde just doesn't need to slow down.
He just drives it until it runs out of gas. It's like that good.
He could too. Noblesse, a very good Terran player, very young and up and coming still, but tons of potential in this kid.
Oh yeah.
And he is definitely a player to look out for. I mean, this is not going to be a one-sided game, I don't think. You know, Clyde is a great player, and I expect him to probably win, but Noblesse is definitely someone who can take him out. He's a very
it would not be impossible for
inventive
him to
player.
win.
Yeah, there's a lot to Noblesse.
He's a little bit overshadowed by the many other Terrans we have here in Codes, but he's definitely a worthy opponent.
Well, the map, tasteless.
The map,
Look at that
Artosis-
S on the ground. That's like such a big S.
I know.
guys
That
have
S is
no
actually
idea.
huge, guys. We've actually seen that S.
It's like made out of metal.
That S is actually like bigger than like Dan or me.
Yeah. I
if
could
we-
fit in that S if I curved myself like an S.
You could. As you can see, Zelnaga Fortress, they both actually eliminated that map. I hate Terran vs. Terran playing that TVT. That is actually like such a weird map, TVT.
I wonder if the Zelnaga have snake bodies.
Why? Why?
Nagas, man. You know what a Naga is?
No, I'm
It's
sorry,
like
I
a human
don't.
upper half and then a snake bottom half.
No, that's badass. Like the way Medusa's often depicted, right?
No, Medusa has. Oh yeah, sometimes she's.
Sometimes
like
she's
that. That's
depicted
right.
with a snake body.
Yeah, but they don't turn you to stone.
Imagine touching Medusa's snake hair. It's all moving around and stuff. You're like,
Well, imagine it bites you and you don't know which one, so you don't know what
I
cure
know.
you need. For
I don't
the
know if
venom.
it's like poisonous or not.
They're probably all milk snakes.
They're probably all garden snakes, actually.
Garter snakes.
The wussies of snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's impressed with the garden snakes if you're watching. All right, it's time.
I'm impressed with garter snakes. You know that they eat poison salamanders?
They do?
Yeah.
Well, way to go, garden snakes. You know
Yeah.
what? You turned me around, Ortosis. Good job. All right, it's time for Clyde against Noblesse. Let's do this.